Welcome to my next CSS tutorial on padding and margin. Padding and margin in CSS. Let me begin by explaining them one after the other. Padding in CSS. What is padding? The CSS padding or the cascading style sheet padding properties are used to generate space around content. The padding clears an area around the content, that is, the inside the border of an element. With CSS, you have full control over the padding. Thus, elements padding is the space between its content and its borders. The padding property is a shorthand property for the padding top, padding right, padding bottom, and padding left properties. E.g., so you can set your padding at padding top, padding right, padding bottom, and padding left. So in this example, I want to set the padding for the paragraph, that is to set the padding for all four sides of a paragraph element to 35 pixels. That is P with the curly bracket, then the padding with the colon, then 35 with semicolon, then you close the curly bracket. In this one, it's only one padding there with 35 pixels. I will explain that one in the next slide. If the padding property has four values, padding is 10 pixel, 5 pixel, 15 pixel, and 20 pixel. What that means is that the top padding is 10 pixel, the right padding is 15, the right padding is 5, the bottom padding is 15, and the left padding is 20. If your padding has three values as shown here, as padding is 10 pixel, 5 pixel, and 15 pixel, what that means is that top padding is 10 pixel, right and left padding are shared among them, that is 5 pixel, while the bottom padding is 15 pixel. The next example is if the padding property has two values, that padding is 10 pixel and 5 pixel. What that means is that top and bottom padding are 10 pixel, right and left padding are 5 pixel. Then the next one is if the padding has one value as the one we just stated for the paragraph, padding is 10 pixel. That is, all the four paddings, top, right, bottom, and left, are 10 pixel. Note: negative values are not allowed in those values, so you cannot add negative values to it. So now the next one is margin in CSS. The margin, the C cascading style sheet, that CSS margin properties, are used to create white space around element outside of any defined borders. With CSS, you have full control over the margins. There are properties for setting the margin for each side of an element, as the same one with we have top, right, bottom, and left, just as padding. Margin have the same properties as stated above in padding. Margin individual sides, that is margin, we have the margin top, we have the margin right, margin bottom, and margin left. So the auto value, you can set the margin properties to auto the horizontally centered the element within its container. The element will then take up the specified width, and the remaining space will be split equally between the left and the right margin. So what I want to explain here is that, as the way we started, that there is margin top, margin right, margin bottom, margin left. So also if the margin has two values, or has one value, or has three values, or has four values, as the way we explained in margin, it's the same thing with margin too. Margin and padding properties, you can set them together. Margin and padding are the two most commonly used properties for spacing out elements. A margin is the outside of the element, that's the outside space of the element, whereas padding is the space inside the element. All the margin properties can have these values auto. Auto means the browser calculates the margin. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Watch out for my next video. Thank you.